American and Southwest are still flying their 737 MAX 8s here in the U.S., but at least 10 foreign countries or carriers have grounded them. U.S. Embassy workers are headed home from Venezuela because of the turbulence there. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo cited the deteriorating situation and said the presence of U.S. staff at the embassy has become a constraint on U.S. policy. This decision comes amid the worsening political crisis in Venezuela and the continuing blackouts. The American diplomats will leave by the end of the week.
It's a big day for Brexit. We get more live from London. CBS's Vicky Barker.
British lawmakers hold their second vote on Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal just a few hours from now. If it fails again, there will be 2 more votes this week on other Brexit options.
The seriousness, the gravity, the importance of this week is not lost on anybody from the Prime Minister downwards.
Conservative Party lawmaker Tobias Ellwood. Mrs. May insists she's won some new last-minute concessions from EU leaders, but it's not clear if that will be enough to turn the tide in her favor just 2.5 weeks before Britain's scheduled to leave the EU. Peter?
Drummer Hal Blaine didn't play on every record ever made during the 60s. It just seemed like it.
Another sad day and night. But
Hal Blaine played on hundreds of records, including 40 #1 hits as a session player for LA's famed Wrecking Crew. His family says Blaine died yesterday from natural causes, about a month after his 90th birthday party, where he was seen and heard playing drums. S&P futures are up 0.5. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time, so you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. 0% annual percentage rate. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Hey, it's Mom. Somebody forgot to thaw the chicken, so meet us at Chili's for 3 for $10. Oh, and congratulate your sister on her report card. It's not great, but this time she didn't try to hide it from us. Oh, and remember, tonight's your dad's goatee intervention. Love you. See you at Chili's.
Come in now for Chili's 3 for $10. Starter, entree, and drink for just $10. With entrees like hand-battered chicken crispers, and for a limited time, our mouth-watering sirloin steak topped with garlic butter. Together, we Chili's. Available at participating locations only.
Christians generally give up something for Lent, usually certain foods, pleasures, or vices, but an Ohio man says he's giving up all food except for beer. More from Cincinnati, WKRC-TV's Elaine Kahn.
He's going from 4 days to 46 of fasting for Lent, taking a nod from monks in the 1600s that would fast during the season by a Bock beer diet.
That would be their liquid bread, and that's what they call it. So the monks in Bavaria called this, they would call it Doppelbock, liquid bread. And basically it would sustain them through 46 days of Lent.
Dell knows what people say.
They think I'm crazy.
But the 50 West worker has a game plan and wants to see if he can prove to himself that it's possible.
Many states have state-run liquor stores. Now New Mexico lawmakers are considering doing the same for pot, with a parallel move that would subsidize medical marijuana for the poor. Peter King, CBS News.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. Invest in your future and buy oil. Encore is drilling in an area that is potentially one of the most prolific horizontal oil plays in the entire country. Oil prices are projected to rise, so you need to own a piece of an oil field. Encore Energy is the most active oil and gas operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 1-800-803-8511. You'll be calling directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
Nursing is one of the most rewarding careers because nurses save lives every day. TJ Regional Health is looking for nurses who like to make a difference each and every day. Come and be a part of the future at TJ Regional Health by joining our amazing nursing staff today. We offer sign-on bonuses, student debt relief, flexible schedules, and a great retirement plan. For more information, call the Human Resources Department at TJ Sampson Community Hospital or go online tjsampson.org.
You may already know about the EPB's Roundup program, where you can round your electric bill up to the nearest dollar, and that money goes to community relief to help those who are less fortunate pay their electric bill. You can now increase the charitable amount you add to your EPB bill to any amount you choose, $1, $2, $5, $10, or even more. Say your electric bill is $94.14 and you want to round it up by $5. Your bill would actually be $100. To make your change to your EPB bill, contact the Glasgow EPB.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Good morning, everybody. We're at 7 minutes after 6 o'clock and 43 degrees. Just a wee bit on the chilly side as we get our start here on the live and local morning show for this Tuesday morning, the 12th day of March. Next on the agenda is to look at the birthdays and the anniversaries today, because we have lots of folks to celebrate with here. Let me get the official birthday music bed playing here. We are saying happy birthday today to Sherry Cheatham Morgan. It's also the 4th birthday of Sophia DeWeese. Jason Bull has a big birthday today, Jason. It's Sue Jewell's birthday. Tyler Elmore. Tyler is 22. Diane Simpson, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Jeff Wilson is celebrating. Samantha Saltzman, happy birthday, Samantha. Leanne Pitcock has a birthday today, too. And it's a wedding anniversary for a nice couple. It's Bill and Brenda Leftwich. The Leftwiches have a wedding anniversary today. Congratulations. 651-914-9800-956-1023. Online, we're here for you at WCLUradio.com. And we're going to be continuing to add birthdays, anniversaries all throughout the morning. In fact, the phones are ringing right now, so we'll get to that. But you need to know how to dress today, how to plan for the rest of the week, and Ray Staging is here to take care of that for us this morning. Ray.
High pressure on the Tuesday weather map, actually keeping us dry and protected here over the next few days. An approaching front with a powerful storm that's going to roll through the Plain States will approach. And now as we get into Thursday, mentioning the threat for maybe some severe weather, taking a look at the Storm Predictions Severe Weather Analysis, or the convective outlooks like they call it, we do get ourselves pretty close to the marginal risk, actually in the marginal risk. Slight risk to our south, so close enough to mention that chance for some gusty winds and maybe some hail. I think the tornado risk is low, but not zero. A few clouds this morning, a few clouds to mostly cloudy this afternoon, 58. Tonight, mainly overcast, 45. Even milder tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 67 on a south-southeasterly breeze. Then as we get into tomorrow night, we'll start to see the rain come in. Temperatures mild in the mid-50s. And close to 70 on Thursday with showers and thunderstorms. That threat for strong or severe storms. Then a front clears, and we'll go cloudy Friday, highs only in the upper 40s. Overnight lows dipping back down to the low 30s. Looks like a sunny weekend, but chilly. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Clear start on the radar screen this morning there, Ray. We've got a constant coverage in studio view that's crystal clear, and that's the way it'll look pretty much for the next, 24 hours or so before we see some more shower activity make its way through. The barometer this morning, where did I put that information? The barometer this morning is at 30.35. Our winds are to the northeast at 7 miles an hour, and we have 67% humidity and nothing in the rain gauge from overnight, 43 degrees. Brennan Crane will report local news right after this.
Have you considered what your retirement looks like? Here are some things about retirement that may surprise you. 64% of retirees say they are confident about having enough money to live comfortably throughout their retirement years. Yet according to the Economic Policy Institute, nearly half of families have no retirement account savings at all. In 2017, more than 67% of retirees depended on Social Security as a major source of their income. The average monthly Social Security benefit at the beginning of 2018 was $1,400. $1,404. Due to health care costs associated with living longer, 26% of workers now intend to keep working until age 70 and beyond, and 10% don't intend to retire at all. The 65 and older group is expected to become larger and have more influence in the future. Have you made arrangements for health care? Are you comfortable with your investment decisions? If you are unsure about your decisions, give the Fouch Wealth Advisory Group, Sam Dickinson, or Brian Basinger a call at 270-651-2663. Investment counseling since 1854. Securities offered by JJB Hilliard W. Alliance LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC, and FINRA. Investing in securities involves risks.
Mommy, I don't feel good.
Those are words a parent never wants to hear, but don't worry. I'm here to help when you do. This is nurse practitioner Brittany Jackson with Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic. Cold and flu season can be scary and intimidating unless you have a plan. Be sure to wash your hands, drink water, eat well, and get plenty of rest. But when that doesn't work, or when your kid picks up the latest bug tearing through their class, Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic is here to help. We offer same-day appointments for sick visits, and we make sure that we are up to date on the latest treatments to guide you through whatever hits you or your family. Many times, quick response can head off the worst of the symptoms, so put Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic on your speed dial and let us get you feeling better faster. 270-629-6722. Remember our new location right across from TJ Sampson Hospital at 1214B North Race Street. Together, we can keep you on the path to good health.
Call my mama. She will make you all better. 270-629-6722.
Good morning. For WCLU News, I'm Brennan Crane. The identity of a body found in Mammoth Cave National Park Monday morning has been identified. According to a press release, the body is that of Mariah Amber DeCrue of Park City, Kentucky. The Federal Bureau of Investigation Louisville Field Office is working with the National Park Service to continue their investigation into a suspicious death at Zion Hill Cemetery near Park City Road in Mammoth Cave National Park. At approximately 9:40 on Monday morning, a person contacted the Barron County Glasgow Dispatch to report finding an unresponsive person laying in the cemetery. The Park City Volunteer Fire Department responded to the scene and contacted the National Park Rangers around 10 yesterday morning regarding the deceased person. Investigators cannot confirm the cause of death at this time and are awaiting the medical examiner's report and various test results before additional information will be released. The cemetery and surrounding area were closed for a number of hours on Monday, while investigators gathered evidence into the incident. The Glasgow City Council held its first March meeting last night at Glasgow City Hall. Several items were on the agenda, but an ordinance increasing fund contributions from the city was the topic of discussion. In its first reading, the ordinance says funds would be increased from, quote, economic development from $60,000 to $120,000 to be included in the budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020, and designating that said contribution shall not be used for salaries nor advertising, end quote. Councilperson Terry Bunnell questioned the limitations of the ordinance, specifically advertising. While the ordinance does not allow the city to use these funds for advertising, Bunnell says this could potentially be harmful for the city.
And I understand that, Mayor, but I just, to you and to the fellow council members and the citizens of Glasgow, I don't see why we want to restrict $120,000 when there could be opportunities to spend that in a multiple usage. That to me is why do I want to limit myself?
Other instances of spending concerned Bunnell, such as workforce development. The ordinance would be restrictive in terms of this spending type as well.
Now, if we've got $120,000 that we're allocating, and we want to spend money on our workforce development, where does that fall in this? We should be free to spend that $120,000. I don't want to see any restrictions placed on that money.
The purpose of the ordinance is to increase funding to economic development. This means that the city would double its contribution from approximately $60,000 to $120,000 in combination with the Barron County Fiscal Court and an attempt to promote development through grants, jobs, and industry. Bunnell reiterated his point regarding the hindrance of the city would ultimately face if the ordinance were eventually passed into law.
What if something comes down the road in October of this year for us, and we place a restriction? Why would we want to handcuff ourselves with this?
Several council members agreed with Bunnell in terms of the limitations the ordinance sets for the city government. City Attorney Danny Basil and Mayor Harold Armstrong explained to questioning council members that the ordinance could be amended if needed to allow more flexibility in spending, such as advertising. Councilperson Patrick Gantz proposed the council wait until the next meeting to vote on the ordinance. He says this would allow for more time to examine the possibilities of the ordinance. Councilperson Wendell Honeycutt explained that prospective industry and jobs look for certain characteristics of a city. One of the most important is the dynamic between city and county governments, according to Honeycutt. After a roll call vote, 5 council members voted no. Councilpersons Bunnell, Gantz, Gross, James Happy Neal, and Joe Trigg voted no. The vote was 6-5. Councilperson Chastity Lowry was not present at the meeting. In addition to last night's meeting, 2 Glasgow police officers were sworn in. A large crowd filled the council chambers to see Mark Cromwell and Trey Wyatt to be sworn in by the mayor. Citizen Kay Bush has made an offer to contribute $5,000 a year for a 20-year period to have the new softball complex currently under construction at Glasgow High School to be named Rigdon Kaiser Field at Bush Stadium. This was discussed at the Glasgow School Board last night. Based on the actions taken at the Glasgow Independent School Board meeting, it would appear that the board is taking the necessary actions to move forward with the initial monetary offer to have the new on-campus softball stadium, now under construction, to be given naming rights. The board would still need to negotiate the terms of the contract. The offer, totaling $100,000, was read by Pro Temp Chairman Mary Burchett Bauer.
The donation offer is that of $100,000, $5,000 over 20 years for the naming rights of the softball field and the stadium. The name requested is Rigdon Kaiser Field and Bush Stadium.
Bauer was chairperson because the official chair of the board is Dr. Amelia Rigdon Kaiser. The monetary offer was given by Kay Bush. As reported on WCLU on July 25th of 2018, what you're about to hear is audio taken from a meeting of the Glasgow Independent School Board that took place during the last week of July last year. The first voice you'll hear is Dr. Amelia Rigdon Kaiser, chairman of the school board. The other voice you'll hear is private citizen and former Glasgow athlete Kay Bush. Both individuals were vocal in their support of building a new softball field on site at the Glasgow School Board campus. Now their names are being considered to be honored in the way of naming rights to the facility. Here's that audio from July 2018.
It is not ideal, and I think we owe these girls the ideal experience. I mean, why would we strive to give them something less than the ideal experience?
Can somebody from the audience speak? So the thing is, it just shows, in my opinion, that this board and the Glasgow Independent Schools have never treated the girls the same way they do the boys. They have not. When Title IX was passed, it was 6 or 7 years before the city, the Glasgow Independent Schools, even had a softball team. They were required by the federal government to have equal access to the women. We didn't do it then. So my position is, why not now? Why not finally do something for just the girls?
At that meeting in July, the board did vote in favor of putting money towards either a new stadium or possibly an existing municipal park. Ultimately, the board chose to build a new facility on campus. Last night, the board voted in favor of entertaining the offer, but also specifying the terms in which both the gift would be received and the naming rights would be given at a future meeting of the school board. Dr. Kaiser did not participate in any discussions of the matter. It was reported by Dr. Chad Mullenkamp that the new softball complex, after legitimate rain delays, would reach substantial completion by April 22nd. More rain is still a possibility moving forward. In other items of news, Glasgow High School Principal Dr. Amy Allen announced that the school has received a 21st Century grant of $650,000 per year for the next 5 years. Allen told the school board it's not often that high schools receive these type of grants. It's 6:19, 43 degrees here at WCLU. We'll be right back for more local news.
At U.S. Bank, just picture what you can do with a low home equity rate. Cook up a new kitchen, say I do to the perfect wedding. If you can picture it, you can do it with a U.S. Bank home equity line of credit. Apply today at your local U.S. Bank. Visit usbank.com. Go ahead, bring your dreams to life. You've got the strength of U.S. Bank behind you. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank member FDIC, equal housing lender.
BG Tire is way more than just tires, though they are the perfect fit for your new tires using your tax refund. Plus, they're your full-service tire and automotive center. They offer pickup and drop-off service to your home or business to save you time. Alignments, oil changes, and brake work, BG Tire does it all, including emergency roadside assistance 24 hours a day. Put your faith in the company that Bowling Green and Glasgow have trusted for over 4 generations. BG Tire, across from BG Home Furnishings on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green.
6:20, 43 degrees here at WCLU. For more news, Glasgow police officers made a drug arrest on Sunday in the Lexington Drive area. According to a press release from the police department, officers were initially dispatched in regard to a complaint. When officers went inside the residence, they located methamphetamine and syringes on a dresser drawer. Melissa Jewell of Glasgow was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, third offense methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and violation of conditions of release. Officer Wesley Hicks made the arrest and was assisted by Officer John Dewberry and Lieutenant Jabin McGuire. On March 10th, Hart County Sheriff's deputies Caleb Butler and Stephen Shields responded to Creek Road in Bonneville. Officers were dispatched for a disturbance involving a verbal altercation and possible theft. During the investigation, Stephanie Nunn, 46, of Bonneville, was found to be in possession of suspected crystal meth. She was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, first offense methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Nunn also had an outstanding warrant for second-degree criminal trespassing. She was arrested and taken to the Hart County Jail. Last Saturday, the Glasgow Police Department responded to Premier Storage Solutions on Trojan Trail in reference to a suspicious vehicle. Officers made contact with Jason Johnson of Louisville and noticed that he had a glass pipe in his hand. Officers searched Johnson's vehicle and located methamphetamine, a marijuana joint, a small bag of marijuana, and digital scales. Johnson was arrested and charged with first-degree trafficking of a controlled substance, first offense, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, possession of an open alcoholic beverage container in a motor vehicle, and tampering with physical evidence. June York of Glasgow was also arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, second offense methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of marijuana. Officer Michael Bergen made the arrest and was assisted by Officer Wesley Hicks and Lieutenant Jabin McGuire. The Glasgow Police Department responded to East Main Street in reference to a suspicious vehicle complaint at Budget Storage on Saturday. Officer Wesley Hicks made contact with Christopher Solish of Center, Kentucky, and located methamphetamine inside of the vehicle. Solish was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, first offense methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Officer Wesley Hicks arrested Solish and was assisted by Lieutenant Jabin McGuire. The Glasgow Police Department responded to Shane Drive on Saturday in reference to a suspicious vehicle sitting in the parking lot of China King Buffet. Officer John Dewberry made contact with Amanda Eversole of Glasgow, who was inside the vehicle, and confirmed that she had an active warrant for her arrest. Dewberry received consent to search the vehicle and located clonopine, Xanax, Suboxone, and methamphetamine. Eversole was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, second offense methamphetamine, second-degree possession of a controlled substance, drug unspecified, third-degree possession of a controlled substance, drug unspecified, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Officer John Dewberry made the arrest and was assisted by Officer Michael Bergen. Last Thursday, the Glasgow Police Department responded to Pace Avenue in reference to a burglary complaint. Officer Trevor Morrison made contact with Daniel Depp of Glasgow and determined that he had kicked in a door of the residence and went inside. Depp was arrested and charged with second-degree burglary, alcoholic intoxication in a public place, and second-degree disorderly conduct. Officer Trevor Morrison made the arrest. It's 6:24, 43 degrees here at WCLU. Up next, Kentucky News Network.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Josh Everett. Jefferson County Public Schools is rescheduling ACT testing that was originally scheduled for today. The district issued a statement last night saying the test is being postponed while teachers' absences are monitored. ACT testing by JCPS juniors has been rescheduled for April 24th, but the state's largest school district is closed today as teachers call out over bills in the state legislature impacting pensions and education. The Kentucky Education Association is asking teachers not to hold sickouts today. KEA officials say having sickouts is not in the best interest of teachers and students for today. The plea comes as state lawmakers begin the last official week of legislative session today. The state teachers organization is encouraging educators to show up in Frankfort again this week to protest bills they say will hurt teachers and education. Police say the remains found in Mammoth Cave National Park belong to 23-year-old Mariah D. Crew of Park City. Federal authorities are investigating after her body was found yesterday morning in Barron County. The FBI says the death is considered suspicious. Passengers on a flight destined for Houston are safe after their plane made an emergency landing shortly after takeoff from Bluegrass Airport. The United Airlines flight left the airport in the early afternoon yesterday when an emergency forced the crew to turn the plane around and safely landed. Passengers were rebooked and accommodated on other flights. This is the second incident at Bluegrass Airport with United Airlines in 2 weeks. A bill requiring public schools to display the national motto, "In God We Trust," is closer to becoming law in Kentucky. It passed the Senate Education Committee yesterday. The bill is sponsored by Republican Representative Brandon Reed of Hodgenville.
Mr. Chairman, our national motto is above the President's podium, above the Speaker's podium. It's above our committee chair's podium in this room today. It's on numerous public buildings. It's on our currency.
The measure goes to the full Senate. It has already passed the House. I'm Josh Everett.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Basketball season is in full swing, and we all know what that means in Kentucky. But don't spoil a good time by drinking and driving. Make a designated driver part of your game plan, whether it's a ride booking company or a sober friend. Save their contact information before the party begins. Drunken driving is 100% preventable, and we're asking you to be a team player. If you've had too much, stay off the road. Remember, Big Blue Nation, fans don't let fans drive drunk. This message is paid with federal funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Don't fall for a threatening call that appears to be law enforcement. It's a scam. Better Business Bureau's president and CEO, Rihanna Smith Hamblin, has more.
Scam artists are calling local consumers using scare tactics to convince them that they have been linked to drug trafficking. The scammers threaten to freeze personal assets if personal information is not provided. Never give someone you don't know your personal information. Just hang up the phone. For more tips, go to bbb.org.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com.
Local news time from WCLU is 6:28, 43 degrees. In funeral announcements this hour, Bobby Caffey, age 80, of Edmonton, died Monday. He was a carpenter, a farmer, a former deputy sheriff of Metcalfe County, and an avid Cubs fan. He is survived by his wife of nearly 62 years, Wanda Bragg Caffey, one daughter, Sharon Copus, and husband Anthony, two sons, Mark Caffey and wife Sally, and Stephen Caffey, three grandchildren, Amy Ball and husband Justin, Nicholas Copus, and Alex Caffey, one step-granddaughter, Whitney Ball, one brother, Edward Caffey Jr., and wife Sue, sisters-in-law Joanne Caffey and Shirley Caffey, also survived by special friends Mike and Rose Garvin and family. Services for Bobby Caffey will be at 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon at Butler Funeral Home, burial in the Hubbard Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 4 p.m. William Taylor Thistlethwaite, M.D., age 62, of Mayfield, died there Tuesday, March the 5th. Bill was a graduate of Landon School, Washington and Lee University, and the George Washington University School of Medicine. He completed his surgical residency at the MedStar Washington Hospital Center and was a fellow of the American College of Surgeons. Bill began his professional career in Bethesda, Maryland, joining his father's surgical practice and working at Suburban Hospital in Bethesda. He was also on staff at Sibley Memorial Hospital, Shady Grove Medical Center, and Holy Cross Hospital. Later in his career, he practiced at T.J. Sampson Hospital in Glasgow and Jackson Purchase Medical Center in Mayfield. He held positions of respect from the Chief of Trauma, Chief of Surgery, to Chief of Staff. Outside of his career, he was successful as an athlete in his youth at both the Landon School and Washington and Lee University. He continued his love and support of athletics in each community. While in D.C., he served as a basketball coach at Archbishop Carroll High School. Moving to Glasgow, he coached the lacrosse team at Glasgow High School. Later, he would become a booster and team doctor for both Glasgow High School and Mayfield High School football teams. Dr. Thistlethwaite is survived by his wife of 36 years, Mary Jane, his two sons, William Taylor, Jr. of Alexandria, Virginia, and James Clayton of Louisville. He is also survived by a brother, J. Richard Thistlethwaite, Jr., M.D., Ph.D. of Edwards, Colorado, sisters, Patricia Thistlethwaite, M.D., Ph.D. of La Jolla, California, and Margaret Hart, M.D. of McLean, Virginia, and brothers-in-law Richard Young and Fred Young, both of Edmonton. The funeral service for Dr. William Taylor Thistlethwaite will be at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon at the Butler Funeral Home, with a private family burial to follow at the Young Family Estate. There is a viewing on Saturday from 3 until 8 and Sunday beginning at 9 a.m. Mary Imogene Branham Faith, age 80 of Louisville, formerly of Summershade, died Sunday at West Point Care Center in Louisville. She was the former manager of Hickory House Restaurant and a Christian. Survivors include a daughter, Kimberly Michelle Faith Bowman of Louisville, a son, Stephen Anthony Faith of Taylorsville, 3 grandchildren, Timothy Price Faith, Brianna Elaine Bowman, and Tristan Blake Bowman, 1 great-grandchild, Charlie Ann Faith, a daughter-in-law, Bobby Faith Head of Pendleton. Service for Mary Imogene Branham Faith will be Wednesday at 1 at McMurtry Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Skaggs Creek Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 1 p.m. Memorials may be made to the funeral fund. Arthur A. Reckowich, age 70, of Oakland, died peacefully with family at his side on Sunday. The Neustadt, Germany native was a retired employee of General Motors and the U.S. Air Force veteran. He is survived by his wife, Jeanette Reckowich, 2 daughters, Tina Sevilla and Sherry Rice, 3 sons, Charles, Terry, and Larry Mefford, 1 brother, Erhard Reckowich, 1 sister, Ethel Stringham, and 13 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. The funeral service for Arthur A. Reckowich will be held at 1 o'clock Wednesday at Hardy & Sons Bowling Green Chapel, burial in the Smiths Grove Cemetery with military honors. Visitation begins at 3 this afternoon. Donations can be made to the St. Jude's Research Hospital. Joe Wells, age 70, of Smiths Grove, died Sunday at the medical center. He was employed by Tartar Realty and is survived by his brother, Leroy Doyle, 3 sisters, Brenda Wells, Zeddy Parker, and Bonnie Watford, special nephew, whom he considered his son, Anthony Wells, and their children and grandchildren, Taylor Mays and Michael Wells, Peyton Wells, Hallie Romine, Wyatt Mays, and his hunting and fishing friend, Jerry Red Dunn. There will be a family celebration of life at a later date for Joe Wells. No service at this time. Arrangements by Hardy & Son Funeral Home. Ethel Cook, age 98, of Brownsville, died Saturday. She received her Master's of Education from WKU State Teachers College and retired from the Edmonson County School System after 42 years of teaching first grade, and she was a member of the Fairview United Baptist Church. She's survived by a brother, Donald Webb of Bowling Green, a sister-in-law, Ann Webb of Brownsville, 2 nieces, Gayla Webb Miller and Barbara Webb Menifee, 5 nephews, Danny Spillman, Rick, Tommy, Carrie, and Craig Webb. Service for Ethel Cook will be held at 11 o'clock on Wednesday at the Patton's Brownsville Chapel, determined to be in the Fairview Church Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 4 p.m. Memorials can be made to the Fairview Church Cemetery Fund. Janetta Perkins Walker, age 75, of Cedar Park, Texas, died Tuesday, March the 5th. Janetta received her high school diploma at Hart County High School. Her working career spans over 50 years of experience. Janetta was employed as a seamstress, home interior distributor, and decorator, and employed for a 25-year period between 2 electronic companies, Texas Instruments, Telabs Company, and McLean Company, and a milk deliverer. In the finer part of her working career, Janetta took a position in law enforcement and committed 11 years of dedicated service to the community of Gatesville, Texas, where she served in the position of correctional officer prior to her illness. She is survived by her children, Janice Celine Thornton Hubbard, Marcellus Maynard Walker, and Joe Robert Thornton, Jr., a sister, Ida Singleton of Chula Vista, California, 13 grandchildren, 16 great-grandchildren. Funeral services for Janetta Perkins Walker will be held at 11 o'clock today at the Brooks Funeral Home. Graveside service to follow in the Lee Perkins Cemetery in Hardyville. Services for Michael Shane Green, age 47, of Glasgow, will be at 2 o'clock Wednesday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Old Zion Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 2 p.m. The service for Jenny Sue Martin, age 68, of Scottsville, will be today at 2 o'clock at the Hatcher & Sadler Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Locust Grove Cemetery. Services for Betty Lou Owen Sturgeon, age 80, of Cave City, will be today at 1 o'clock at the Wynn Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Cave City Cemetery. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free online at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance, growing with a proud community since 1902.
636 at WCLU and 43 degrees. Let's start local sports. The big sports story locally, of course, is the big send-off tonight for the Barron County Trojanettes as they head to Lexington for their Sweet 16 appearance on Thursday morning. Be at Barron County High School Gymnasium at 5:30 this afternoon to be a part of the big community-wide send-off for the Trojanettes. They will play Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Central Time against Pikeville out of the 15th region, and a large fan base is expected to head to Rupp Arena for the Thursday contest. We're going to be keeping an eye on the weather forecast to make sure that as folks plan to travel, they'll know exactly how the weather forecast is going to shape up. Ray Stajic would like to chime in here and talk about the way the weather's going to be.
High pressure on the Tuesday weather map, actually keeping us dry and protected here over the next few days. An approaching front with a powerful storm that's going to roll through the Plain States will approach. And now as we get into Thursday, mentioning the threat for maybe some severe weather, taking a look at the Storm Predictions Severe Weather Analysis, or the convective outlooks like they call it, we do get ourselves pretty close to the marginal risk, actually in the marginal risk, slight risk to our south. So close enough to mention that chance for some gusty winds and maybe some hail. I think the tornado risk is low, but not zero. A few clouds this morning, a few clouds to mostly cloudy this afternoon, 58. Tonight, mainly overcast, 45. Even milder tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 67 on a south-southeasterly breeze. Then as we get into tomorrow night, we'll start to see the rain come in. Temperatures mild in the mid-50s and close to 70 on Thursday with showers and thunderstorms. That threat for strong or severe storms. Then a front clears and we'll go cloudy Friday. Highs only in the upper 40s. Overnight lows dipping back down to the low 30s. Looks like a sunny weekend, but chilly. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Well, we'll just take what you send us there, Ray, but it doesn't sound bad at all. The current conditions here this morning, the barometer is at 30.35, northeast winds at 7 miles an hour, humidity at 67%. No precip in the past 24 hours, but we'll watch that. Maybe we'll get some moisture in here, really later on in the day tomorrow, and then maybe a little bit for Thursday. We'll check with Ray and make sure. 43 degrees. 638.
You may be a believer in God, but you may still have issues and you may still struggle with prayer. A very common question that believers have is this: how can I pray more effectively? How can I get the most out of my prayers? Well, let me begin by making just one suggestion for you. Be more transparent. Be open and honest. Don't hide anything. Don't hold anything back. Think about the way that you would communicate with a friend. When something is really eating away at you, something's really bothering you, and you try to talk to your friend and hide it from them, can you really keep it from them? Our God wants us to be open and honest and transparent with Him. He wants us to cast all our cares upon Him. This has been Bart for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Why do you choose the pharmacy you use? Is it because of someone you know, or is it short wait times? Highland Pharmacy has considered all of these things that make your experience at the pharmacy pleasant. With a top-notch staff of pharmacists and techs you know and trust, 2 drive-through windows, and a commitment to not making you sit and wait any longer than necessary, you can see why so many choose Highland Pharmacy, and we invite you to come see us for your next prescription. Highland Pharmacy, just over from the TJ Health Pavilion, 301 Rogers Road. Call 270-629-4300.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
That's right. We got some special things coming up with Ralphie's birthday party coming up here this weekend. We're going to be telling you more about that. But, you know, it's hard to believe. I think it's the 7th year for Ralphie's Fun Center. That's 7 years of making things fun. Let me get the birthday sounder over here so we can celebrate in style. We got Mr. Chris Franklin having a birthday today. Happy birthday, Chris Franklin, today. It is Lee Ann Pitcock celebrating a birthday. Samantha Saltzman. Jeff Wilson, happy birthday. Diane Simpson. Tyler Elmore is 22. Jason Bull. Sophia DeWeese. Sherry Cheatham Morgan. And we've got Bill and Brenda Leftwich. That's Bill and Brenda Leftwich on the anniversary side of things here at WCLU. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Online here at WCLUradio.com. Our Good as Gold honoree today, it's in-house. We'll take this one as kind of a shop talk thing, but today, believe it or not, today is the 25th anniversary for Miss Nellie Pickett being here at WCLU and running the whole place. Hard to believe, 25 years, but she deserves at least one pat on the back. She's at least gold. And so if you happen to see Miss Nellie Pickett around town anywhere today, pat her on the back. Thank her for 25 years of working really hard here at the radio station and keeping us all straight. And certainly we want to let her know that she's good as gold from WCLU. And a little taste of Texas. 642, 43 degrees.
Money may not grow on trees, but it does grow at Citizens First. Hi, I'm Dana Chapman, branch manager at our Glasgow Southgate branch. We have a checking account at Citizens First that earns you real interest on your money, more than most CDs. Our Platinum Plus checking account. Our staff makes moving your account to Citizens First simple and seamless by helping you through the process. We're committed to a brighter future for both you and our community. Citizens First, the best choice for the best checking accounts. Stop by today to open your Platinum Plus account. Member FDIC.
Would you be interested in enrolling your young ones in a nationally recognized top 10 school in the state of Kentucky? The Glasgow Independent School District is hosting open enrollment for all-day preschool and kindergarten on Wednesday, March the 20th. Bring a birth certificate, social security card, immunization and physical records, and eye exam results if possible. Open enrollment will take place at both Highland and South Green Elementary Schools, Wednesday, March the 20th. Enroll your children in Glasgow Independent Schools. Guide, inspire, succeed.
Do It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessonberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessonberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
TJ Regional Health offers
the archives. Yes, we have history in the making each and every day around here, and then we'd like to go back and review how we got here. And the archives today brought to you as a service of Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. We're going to come back and kind of explain a few things, try to understand the way we were, as the song says. And so hang on. We'll hear this from Joseph A. Wade, and we'll enjoy sharing this morning.
TJ Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services in our community.
The TJ Health Pavilion is home to over 35 family and specialty physicians, outpatient services center, the TJ Urgent Care, and the TJ Pavilion Pharmacy. The TJ Health Cave City Clinic is a walk-in medical care facility providing care Monday through Friday with no appointment necessary. Stop by and visit one of our locations today.
Well, Sam Terry is still a wee bit under the weather, so I'm going to go solo here. And, yes, don't y'all worry, he'll be back. We just got to get him all nice and healed, and he'll be here and sharing lots and lots of history. And we look forward to his return. But today we're going to talk about 19 and 19, this story in the Glasgow Republican. I like the reporter here is giving his or her opinion in this story. 100 years ago, last Monday morning, some sneak thief opened the cash drawer in the safe of Leach and Davis Drugs and took what money was there, which amounted to more than $400. It was a bold act, but it worked, the reporter says. It is thought the door to the cash box was left unlocked. But still, it attracted the attention of some sneak thief to Leach and Davis in 1919. 1929, the two-story brick building on Washington Street, known as the LaPointe Building, has been purchased by Grayson Yancey. The present occupants will remain in the building. Mr. Yancey will make extensive improvements in the Old Times building, which he purchased several weeks ago. A new front will be put in the building, and an additional story will be made into offices, and says here that work has already started. So, 1929, Washington Street, it was the LaPointe Building, and it was bought by a guy named Grayson Yancey. And today, thanks to Mr. Jeff Joe, we have an establishment there named Yancey's. And you can see it wasn't just a name drawn out of the hat. It goes back to the man who bought the building and turned it into a nice showplace, Mr. Grayson Yancey, 1929. That's a bit of the history there. 1939 in this day. This was in the Republican. One of these, one of these tongue-in-cheek written stories here about some of the pals who like to cut up with each other. 1939, Master Edwin Powell Barlow Ropp is the new member of the Glenn Ropp Francis Barlow family. Mother and son are at the hospital getting well acquainted when not pestered by grandmother Barlow and Pappy Ropp. Friday night, March the 3rd, noted the event. So, you see, we're talking about the late Judge Barlow Ropp being born in 1939 on this day, and he was out there at the hospital. He and his mom were getting well acquainted, but only when they were not being pestered by the grandmother Barlow and Pappy Ropp. But hey, that's what grandparents are supposed to do, I've found. Do some pestering. 1939. 1949, some big news here locally. The Park City Future Farmers of America chapter is holding its annual Parent and Son banquet on Friday night at the school. Last week, the FFA chapter president, Bob Perkins, was presented a $25 war bond at the Lions Club luncheon in Glasgow. The prize presented in recognition for winning an essay contest sponsored by the Courier-Journal and the Louisville Times and the Soil Conservation Service in cooperation with the Lions Club. How about that? Big news there for the Park City FFA. Some good leaders winning statewide recognition. All right, we go to 1959. We had an election here in the Junior Women's Club. They met on Thursday night at the community clubhouse where Mrs. David Bailey, the president, presiding. The following officers were elected for the coming year: Mrs. William Terry, Jr., the president; Mrs. Joe Larkin, the first vice president; Mrs. Bobby Perdue, the second vice president; Mrs. Leonard Kelsey, the recording secretary; Mrs. Joe Ryherd, the corresponding secretary; Mrs. Billy George Evans, the treasurer; and Mrs. Billy Risen, the editor. Now, that's some fine, outstanding ladies of our community all coming together for the Junior Women's Club meeting at the Community Clubhouse. And under the guidance of Mrs. David Bailey, they elected some wonderful people to continue on in 1959. Let's move to 1969, another strong club with a lot of great ladies involved, the Glasgow B&PW Club. This day in 1969 had a hat style show. Listen to these models who were modeling hats in 1969 for the Glasgow B&PW Club. Mrs. Edna Rayleigh, Betty Kingery, Barbara Motley, Maury Foster, Juana Parker, Zeta Edwards, and Nina Cummins. Some fine gals who I know strutted well in a hat for the 1969 B&PW Club Hat Style Show. Let's see, let's move to 1979. This was the day the finishing touches were being completed on the new office building of Wyatt Realty and Auction Service at 316 Green Acres. That's in 1979. Served the Wyatt family well there in that new office they were building back in 79. 1989, the academic team from Temple Hill Junior High School took first place, and the team from Austin Tracy placed second in the Kentucky Academic Regional Governor's Cup competition. We had some smart youngsters from this location here in 1989, with Austin Tracy placing second, Temple Hill placing first in academic competition. 1999, this was the day we had some restaurants opening up here. This day in 1999, Reno's Roadhouse anchors the new center in Festival Plaza on Shane Drive in Glasgow. That is now where the shoe sensation is located. Also, this day, Tumbleweed opens in Glasgow Square Shopping Center. That's Wayne and Linda Allen Jones. Linda is, of course, the daughter of the late Paul and Mary Ethel Davidson Allen, and was building a little restaurant here in her hometown back in 1999. So the tracing the beginnings of Reno's and Tumbleweed to this day in 1999. And 2009, this was talking about longevity, this was the celebration of Barron County Healthcare's 30th anniversary this day in 2009. So one that's provided lots of care and comfort for a lot of folks. Barron County Healthcare. It's the archives. It's the way it shapes up. Explains kind of how we got here and hope for where we're going. Thanks to all the folks who help us with this information here, folks like Ms. Gail Berry and Mr. Ray Green and others at the Cultural Center. Speaking of the Cultural Center, don't forget just a few more days on the Black History Month exhibit down at the Cultural Center. That's going to be going on through March the 21st, which is just a few days away. So don't miss out on that, something spectacular at the Cultural Center. Thank you to Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services for bringing us the archives today.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Check out the great deals at Gilead Auto Group in Glasgow. Stretch your hard-earned tax refund further during Gilead's Tax Time Sale-a-thon. Save big on over 450 pre-owned vehicles, starting at $2,500 up to like new 2018 models. Plus, we have over 100 vehicles priced below $9,900. We work with over 20 lenders to get you the vehicle you need and deserve, no matter your credit situation. If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
At Ford's Furniture, your choice of sectionals is only limited by your imagination.
Not only can you select from our large in-stock inventory, you can special order from an amazing selection of styles, colors, and fabrics. Our sectionals are so flexible they can fit nearly any room and any space. You can customize the size, the shape, the firmness, the fabric, even the pillows. All from Ford's Furniture in Bowling Green and Glasgow.
That's Ford's Furniture.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago.
South Central Bank is your first choice for banking solutions. Want to know more? Just listen to Owen Lambert at South Central Bank in Glasgow.
I've been involved in the financial services industry for 38 years. Our goal at South Central Bank, customer service and the customer's needs ahead of things, and we'll take as much time as it takes and spare no effort to make sure that we deliver on that kind of promise. And I think that sets us apart. What we do is we create unique, custom-made customer solutions where no two have to be exactly the same. We want unique experiences. We want every customer to feel special, to feel wanted, and more than anything, to feel valuable.
South Central Bank with 29 convenient locations. Find them online at southcentralbank.com.
South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A few clouds this morning, a few clouds to mostly cloudy this afternoon, 58. Tonight, mainly overcast, 45. Even milder tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 67. Then as we get into tomorrow night, we'll start to see the rain come in. Temperatures mild in the mid-50s. And close to 70 on Thursday with showers and thunderstorms. That threat for strong or severe storms. Then a front clears and we'll go cloudy Friday. Highs only in the upper 40s. Looks like a sunny weekend, but chilly. Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Current conditions, the barometer is at 30.35. Northeast winds at 7. 67% humidity. No precip in the past 24 hours. We're stuck to 43 degrees. Weather brought to you by South Central Bank.
Have you been putting off buying a new vehicle? Well, Bailey Gibson in Glasgow says the wait is over. Just announced, and for a limited time, GM is extending supplier pricing to every customer, plus cash allowance on all 2018 and 2019 Buicks and GMC cars and SUVs in stock. What's the bottom line? Pick out your next Buick, GMC, or SUV from the huge in-stock inventory at Bailey Gibson, and you'll get up to 16% off MSRP on all cars and SUVs in stock. Couldn't get any simpler. Don't miss out. Come to Bailey Gibson Buick GMC, 306 Happy Valley Road, Glasgow.
Whether you have a little boo-boo or a great big boo-boo, when it comes to your car, who fixes those problems really matters. Shaw's Body Shop in Glasgow is a well-established, reputable company capable of taking care of any size damage to your car. In fact, many major insurance carriers have Shaw's on their preferred repair shop list. What does that tell you? It tells you whether you have a little ding or a big bang. Get it fixed right with Shaw's Body Shop on West Main, 651-5172.
This is Elizabeth Downing, and I ask you to consider letting Time Savers assist with whatever kind of care you need. Preventive care to help make sure you don't land in the hospital. Recuperative care to help you bounce back from illness, injury, or joint replacement. Full hands-on care. Respite care, dementia care. At Time Savers, we're good at all of these. Don't know what you need? Let us help you figure out the puzzle. Call us at 270-792-5703 or go to mytimesaversky.com. We're here to listen, to understand, and to help.
Well, let's see. You want to play trivia? I think I want to play trivia, see how smart some folks are. Get ready for that. We'll hear from a couple of our sponsors and come right back and play the Little Caesars Pizza contest here just in a minute. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody covered here on some things that are coming up here today. Don't forget, again, at 10 o'clock today, the Mary Wilson Library's Book Sprout Story Time today. 5 early literacy practices today will be worked on: talking, singing, reading, writing, and playing. 10 o'clock today, it is Book Sprout Story Time.
Every Monday and Tuesday, enjoy half-off sushi and appetizers at Shogun Bistro in Glasgow all day long. That's right, half-off sushi and appetizers. Shogun Bistro of Glasgow. You've chosen wisely.
Congratulations. Are you excited about the new job?
Yes, but I don't know what to do with my 401k.
That's a big decision. As a Modern Woodman financial representative, I can explain your options and help you to make the best choice. I'm Anthony Mike. Call me today at 427-6807.
Get to know your local Modern Woodman representative to plan for your financial future and learn about valuable member benefits. Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures. Securities offered through MWA Financial Services, Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Modern Woodman of America.
Do you suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or any other ailment that requires you to take multiple medications multiple times a day? If so, you should be getting your prescriptions filled at Glasgow Prescription Center, because Glasgow Prescription Center can package your medicine in a small 2-inch plastic bag based on what time of day you should take each of your medications. 1 package for mornings, 1 package for evenings, and any other time of day and dosage you're prescribed. Glasgow Prescription Center is leading the way with this new service, and it doesn't cost any extra to have your medicine packaged in a way that helps keep you on schedule, and it makes it easy to take your medicine when you travel. It's just another reason why there's only one Glasgow Prescription Center. Southgate Plaza in Glasgow, 270-651-8889.
We want pretzel crust. We want
Pretzel Crust fans, rejoice because it's back by popular demand. Little Caesars Large Soft Pretzel Crust Pizza featuring a creamy cheddar cheese sauce, pepperoni, and a 4-cheese blend surrounded by a delicious salted soft pretzel crust for just $6. Hot and ready every day between 4 and 8 and only $6 from the home of Pretzel Crust Pizza, Little Caesars.
Pizza at participating locations plus tax.
Why don't you win one? A large sausage or a large pepperoni, just for answering this question correctly here at WCLU 651-9149, 800-956-1023. A simple question here. Whose arch enemy was Snidely Whiplash? Whose arch enemy was Snidely Whiplash? You might show your age a little bit if you can answer this. But the phones are ringing. So let's see. Snidely Whiplash, the arch rival of whom? Trivia.
Dudley Do-Right.
Say it again.
I'm sorry?
Say it again.
Dudley Do-Right.
And who is this?
Jesse Brown.
Well, now, of all the people who I might have predicted could have gotten this, I wouldn't have predicted you first, Mr. Brown.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Keith was sitting with me, and he was the one that said it first. I remember Dudley Do.
You do, huh?
Oh, yeah. Slow, thin mustache. And
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Here, I got a little sound effect for you here, okay?
All right.
Dudley Do.
I didn't hear anything.
Well, okay, hold on here. It's coming up.
Okay.
Into the northern region of Canada at the close of the 19th century rode Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties, lonely defender of justice and fair play.
See, he's a justice of fair play. Now, here's the thing, Mr. Brown, that you and Keith can debate here. If you want the extra, if you want the extra piece of pizza, it is what was Dudley Do-Right's? What does he do? I'm sorry. What did Snidely Whiplash do? What was his, I guess his mantra?
I don't remember what he did to upset Dudley.
Well,
Do you remember? No, Keith doesn't remember either.
Well, okay, I'm going to lay it on you here.
All right.
He was habitually tying women to railroad tracks.
Oh, yes. Tying women to the railroad track, yeah.
That's right. That was his dastardly move here.
Dastardly deed, yeah.
That's right. And, of course, Dudley Do-Right, the
A lot of D's there, aren't there?
Yeah, that's right. That's for sure. So, it's like really up in Canada, he was a Canadian Mountie, and Snidely Whiplash, as sinister as he was sort of hung up on tying women to railroad tracks. Sounds like something you couldn't get away with all that often, but he did, which kept Dudley Do-Right employed, I guess.
I was having one of those senior moments. I could see him, but I couldn't think of his name until Keith said it.
Yeah. Dudley Do-Right. He was a real, clean-shaven, blue-eyed, handsome
Oh, yeah.
Mountie. All right. Y'all work this one out, okay? Work the puzzle. Have a good day, sir.
Okay, thank you.
See you. Bye-bye. Jesse
Bye-bye.
Brown. That's right. It is Dudley Do-Right. Dudley Do-Right is the guy who was always trying to do right. Seemed like he was always fighting that dastardly Snidely whiplash. Just tying those gals to the railroad track. That's trivia for today. You never know what sort of ledge we're going to jump off of on this program, but come back tomorrow and we'll see where we're going at that point. Thank you.
CBS News update. At least 10 countries have grounded Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets after last weekend's crash in Ethiopia, the second in less than 5 months. They're still flying on 3 American carriers. Here's CBS's Laura Podesta.
Here in the U.S., the FAA is urging patience until we know more. But at least 2 senators, Dianne Feinstein and Richard Blumenthal, are calling for all Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes to be grounded until we know the cause of the Ethiopian Airlines crash.
Thomas Anthony is director of the University of Southern California Aviation Safety Program.
Who's the #1 exporter in the United States in terms of dollars? Boeing. They are a powerful force, and any decision that has to do with Boeing must necessarily consider that fact.
Boeing says the planes are safe and it's updating software for the MAX 8 fleet. CBS News Update, I'm Peter King.
The Royce Radio Family, WCLU, 1490 Glasgow, WCLU FM, 102.3 Munfordville, Glasgow, and W276DO 103.1 Glasgow.
Experience no-hassle shopping at Ford's Furniture in Bowling Green and Glasgow. Ford's Furniture. Furniture you know. People you trust.
I was currently with no prosthetic company, and I was just getting my beginner's prosthetic, and it still wasn't comfortable.
That's when Mike met William Bray with Extreme Prosthetics.
I met Mr. Bray at one of my daughter's ball games, and he'd handed me a card, and he seemed very confident and knew what he was talking about, so I decided to go see Mr. Bray just for a consultation, and just in minutes I was more confident in it, full range of motion.
Mike and many others have given great testimonials for William Bray and Extreme Prosthetics at 400 South Broadway in Glasgow, which you can check out online at comfortforamputees.com.
Yeah, I'm a rather large guy, and it takes a special prosthetic to carry my weight. In the first meeting with Mr. Bray, he realized by looking at the material they used to assemble my prosthetic that it wasn't at the weight limit to carry my weight. And had I not went to that consultation, I'd have never known that.
Professional care from someone who wears a prosthetic themselves. William Bray and Extreme Prosthetics.
If you're just not confident with it, I'd say go see Mr. Bray.
Call 629-5347.
Everybody wants to feel good about their pharmacy, but in the quest for good health, price does become a factor. In Glasgow, we have a pharmacy that has been able to combine customer service with the lowest possible price day in and day out. That pharmacy is Park Avenue Pharmacy. Ask your friends. They'll tell you that when comparing the price of prescription drugs time and time again, Park Avenue Pharmacy is the lowest price. And with full-time pharmacists and friendly faces you know, you should request the prescriptions be filled at Park Avenue Pharmacy. Park Avenue Pharmacy is located in the Park Avenue Shopping Center, easy to get to from anywhere. Phone 651-5156. You can get low prices and full service. Simply trust Park Avenue Pharmacy in Glasgow.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
It's 7:08, 43 degrees here at WCLU. For local news, I'm Brennan Crane. The identity of a body found in Mammoth Cave National Park Monday morning has been identified. According to a press release, the body is that of Mariah Amber DeCrue of Park City, Kentucky. The Federal Bureau of Investigation Louisville Field Office is working with the National Park Service to continue their investigation into a suspicious death at Zion Hill Cemetery near Park City Road in Mammoth Cave National Park. At approximately 9:40 on Monday morning, a person contacted the Barron County Glasgow Dispatch to report finding an unresponsive person laying in the cemetery. The Park City Volunteer Fire Department responded to the scene and contacted the National Park Rangers around 10 yesterday morning regarding the deceased person. Investigators cannot confirm the cause of death at this time and are awaiting the medical examiner's report and various test results before additional information will be released. The cemetery and surrounding area were closed for a number of hours on Monday while investigators gathered evidence into the incident. The Glasgow City Council held its first March meeting last night at Glasgow City Hall. Several items were on the agenda, but an ordinance increasing fund contributions from the city was the topic of discussion. In its first reading, the ordinance says funds would be increased for economic development from $60,000 to $120,000 to be included in the budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020, and designating that said contribution shall not be used for salaries nor advertising. Councilperson Terry Bunnell questioned the limitations of the ordinance, specifically advertising. While the ordinance would allow the city to use these funds for advertising, Bunnell says this could potentially be harmful for the city.
And I understand that, Mayor, but how does to you and to the fellow council members and the citizens of Glasgow, I don't see why we want to restrict $120,000 when there could be opportunities to spend that in a multiple usage. That to me is why do I want to limit myself?
Other instances of spending concerned Bunnell, such as workforce development. The ordinance would be restrictive in terms of this spending type as well.
Now, if we've got $120,000 that we're allocating, and we want to spend money on our workforce development, where does that fall in this? We should be free to spend that $120,000. I don't want to see any restrictions placed on that money.
The purpose of the ordinance is to increase funding to economic development. This means that the city would double its contribution from approximately $60,000 to $120,000 in combination with the Barron County Fiscal Court and attempt to promote development through grants, jobs, and industry. Bunnell reiterated his point regarding the hindrance of the city would ultimately face if the ordinance were eventually passed into law.
What if something comes down the road in October of this year for us, and we place a restriction? Why would we want to handcuff ourselves with this?
Several council members agreed with Bunnell in terms of the limitations of the ordinance sets for the city government. City Attorney Danny Basil and Mayor Harold Armstrong explained to questioning council members that the ordinance could be amended, if needed, to allow more flexibility in spending, such as advertising. Councilperson Patrick Gons proposed the council wait until the next meeting to vote on the ordinance. He says this would allow for more time to examine the possibilities of the ordinance. Councilperson Wendell Honeycutt explained that prospective industry and jobs look for certain characteristics of a city. One of the most important is the dynamic between city and county governments, according to Honeycutt.
Having worked with a brand new company coming in here, I went to work for one as the third United States citizen hired by that company. I know that city-county cooperation is what attracted them. It's not what the Idea Board offered or anything else. It was the cooperation between the two governments that makes a big difference. They saw that. They knew that we were a community that could make things happen when they saw that. I think that's what's important. I think it's time to make a change. I think it's time to adopt this like the county did and cooperate with them fully.
After a roll call vote, 5 council members voted no. Councilpersons Bunnell, Gantz, Gross, James Happy Neal, and Joe Trigg voted no. The vote was 6-5. Councilperson Chastity Lowry was not present at the meeting. In addition to last night's meeting, 2 Glasgow police officers were sworn in. A large crowd filled the council chambers to see Mark Cromwell and Trey Wyatt be sworn in by the mayor. Citizen Kay Bush has made an offer to contribute $5,000 a year for a 20-year period to have the new softball complex currently under construction at Glasgow High School to be named Rigdon Kaiser Field at Bush Stadium. This was discussed at the Glasgow School Board last night. Based on the actions taken at the Glasgow Independent School Board meeting, it would appear that the board is taking the necessary actions to move forward with the initial monetary offer to have the new on-campus softball stadium, now under construction, to be given naming rights. The board would still need to negotiate the terms of the contract. The offer, totaling $100,000, was read by Pro Temp Chairman Mary Burchett Bauer.
The donation offer is that of $100,000. $5,000 over 20 years for the naming rights of the softball field at the stadium. The name requested is Rigdon Kaiser Field and Bush Stadium.
Bauer was chairperson because the official chair of the board is Dr. Amelia Rigdon Kaiser. The monetary offer was given by Kay Bush, as reported on WCLU on July 25th of 2018. What you're about to hear is audio taken from a meeting of the Glasgow Independent School Board that took place during the last week of July last year. The first voice you'll hear is Dr. Amelia Rigdon Kaiser, chairman of the school board. The other voice you'll hear is private citizen and former Glasgow athlete Kay Bush. Both individuals were vocal in their support of building a new softball field on site at the Glasgow School Board campus. Now their names are being considered to be honored in the way of naming rights to the facility. Here's that audio from July 2018.
It is not ideal, and I think we owe these girls the ideal experience. I mean, why would we strive to give them something less than the ideal experience?
Can somebody from the audience speak? So the thing is, it just shows, in my opinion, that this board and the Glasgow Independent Schools have never treated the girls the same way they do the boys. They have not. When Title IX was passed, it was 6 or 7 years before the city, the Glasgow Independent Schools, even had a softball team. They were required by the federal government to have equal access to the women. We didn't do it then. So my position is, why not now? Why not finally do something for just the girls?
At that meeting in July, the board did vote in favor of putting money towards either a new stadium or possibly an existing municipal park. Ultimately, the board chose to build a new facility on campus. Last night, the board voted in favor of entertaining the offer, but also specifying the terms in which both the gift would be received and the naming rights would be given at a future meeting of the school board. Dr. Kaiser did not participate in any discussions on the matter. It was reported by Dr. Chad Molenkamp that the new softball complex, after legitimate rain delays, would reach substantial completion by April 22nd. More rain is still a possibility moving forward. In other items of news, Glasgow High School Principal Dr. Amy Allen announced that the school has received a 21st Century grant of $650,000 per year for the next 5 years. Allen told the school board it's not often that high schools receive these type of grants. It's 7:16, 43 degrees. Stay tuned. We'll have more news after this.
Hello, I'm Anthony Myatt. Thanks for calling. How can I help you?
I need life insurance, but it's so complicated.
It can be. As a Modern Woodman agent, I'm trained to design the best plan for you.
Great. Thanks a lot. I'm so glad I called you.
Call me anytime at 427-6807.
Get to know your local Modern Woodman representative to plan for your financial future and learn about valuable member benefits. Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures. Securities offered through MWA Financial Services, Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Modern Woodman of America.
ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance. Yes, we have a history and roots in Southern Kentucky. Yes, we have a large staff to support our clients with the attention and efficiency they deserve. Best of all, we continue to get better at what we do. You make us better. Let us show you the type of insurance experience we think should always come standard. Every person, family, home, farm, or business we serve gets our best effort. Dedicated to what's best for you, we're ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902, I'm Daniel Bird, and I'd love the opportunity to work with you. Please give us a call.
In more local news, Glasgow police officers made a drug arrest on Sunday in the Lexington Drive area. According to a press release from the police department, officers were initially dispatched in regard to a complaint. When officers went inside the residence, they located methamphetamine and syringes on a dresser drawer. Melissa Jewell of Glasgow was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, third offense methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and violation of conditions of release. Officer Wesley Hicks made the arrest and was assisted by Officer John Dewberry and Lieutenant Jabin McGuire. On March 10th, Hart County Sheriff's deputies Caleb Butler and Stephen Shields responded to Creek Road in Bonneville. Officers were dispatched for a disturbance involving a verbal altercation and possible theft. During the investigation, Stephanie Nunn, 46, of Bonneville, was found to be in possession of suspected crystal meth. She was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, first offense methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Nunn also had an outstanding warrant for second-degree criminal trespassing. She was arrested and taken to the Hart County Jail. Last Saturday, the Glasgow Police Department responded to Premier Storage Solutions on Trojan Trail in reference to a suspicious vehicle. Officers made contact with Jason Johnson of Louisville and noticed that he had a glass pipe in his hand. Officers searched Johnson's vehicle and located methamphetamine, a marijuana joint, a small bag of marijuana, and digital scales. Johnson was arrested and charged with first-degree trafficking of a controlled substance, first offense, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, possession of an open alcoholic beverage container in a motor vehicle, and tampering with physical evidence. June York of Glasgow was also arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, second offense methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of marijuana. Officer Michael Bergen made the arrest and was assisted by Officer Wesley Hicks and Lieutenant Jamin McGuire. The Glasgow Police Department responded to East Main Street in reference to a suspicious vehicle complaint at Budget Storage on Saturday. Officer Wesley Hicks made contact with Christopher Solish of Center, Kentucky, and located methamphetamine inside of the vehicle. Solish was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, first offense methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Officer Wesley Hicks arrested Solish and was assisted by Lieutenant Jamin McGuire. The Glasgow Police Department responded to Shane Drive on Saturday in reference to a suspicious vehicle sitting in the parking lot of China King Buffet. Officer John Dewberry made contact with Amanda Eversole of Glasgow, who was inside the vehicle, and confirmed that she had an active warrant for her arrest. Dewberry received consent to search the vehicle and located clonopine, Xanax, Suboxone, and methamphetamine. Eversole was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, second offense methamphetamine, second-degree possession of a controlled substance, drug unspecified, third-degree possession of a controlled substance, drug unspecified, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Officer John Dewberry made the arrest and was assisted by Officer Michael Bergen. Last Thursday, the Glasgow Police Department responded to Pace Avenue in reference to a burglary complaint. Officer Trevor Morrison made contact with Daniel Depp of Glasgow and determined that he had kicked